don't know, but last week I was having issues with my lives, and it took me a while to work on this doing thing and whatever. But welcome again to Ron's opinion don't matter. Um, Hang in there with me because I'm still working on a couple of things, but I don't want to trying to fix a few things. But yeah, it's last week I was having issues with equipment, and it wasn't going so well. But here we are. Here we are right now, and trying to work on a couple other things, and just trying to get situated. But anyway, appreciate you, appreciate it, appreciate it. It's give me a second because I'm still having issues, but for the most part, I should be good. Give me a second. Because I really want to get into something that's kind of trouble. But anyway, yeah, here we are on this live. I want to say thank y'all for showing up. Welcome again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I don't know what's going on, but I finally got this thing working again. But I put a lot of time into it. There's a lot of things I want to get into. I might not be able to get into all of it on this video, but I'm quite sure a lot of people saw. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but Kamala Harris was on Oprah Winfrey Show. Once again, she never answers questions. And of course, we once again here talking about politics. What's up, Chris? For real, welcome in. Welcome. Once again, we're here talking about politics and the situation that's going on. But again, she was on Oprah Winfrey Show, and she never answers questions. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched bits and pieces of it because it's hard for me to stomach stupid. And that's the truth of the matter. It is really hard for me to stomach stupid. Because that's what it's coming down to. And this is what is actually made it to the point of running for president. Like, literally stupid. Like, there is nothing in this that makes any sense now. And then the other thing is the fact that they never fact checked her. And then beyond the fact checking, there is nothing there. Like, there's no substance there. Like, who would vote for somebody that is that dumb? Like, I don't even understand it. And here's the thing, most people that are going to probably vote her way is going to vote that way because they have a hate for Trump. But they don't hate Trump because Trump did something to them. They hate Trump because they were told. Yes, she is. She's simply in me. They hate Trump because they were told to hate Trump because they don't have a mind of their own. That's what it is. They're told to hate Trump. They don't have a reason to hate Trump. They just told to hate Trump. That's it. They told to. So because they were told to do it by someone, whoever, they're hating Trump. But they never take the time to figure out, let me really get to understand who Trump is. And the same thing with Kamala. If you dig into both histories, there's no way you're going to end up wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. There's no way. And here's my point. Now, I put out a little short before, and for those that are of the gun community, repeatedly, she has talked about gun control, taking guns, gun buyback, banning guns, and all of the things centered around guns. Now, why did not, when she was up on that debate, did they not fact check her on the fact that she says she's saying she owns a gun and she don't want to take away guns? All right, y'all could have fact checked that and went back and pulled up all of the history of her talking about gun control and wanting to take your guns, wanting to ban guns. All the way across the board, she has literally said this over and over. But there's a report out right now that they're talking about, again, under the Biden administration, where They was talking about buybacks. The United States American government has literally since spent $67 million on a gun buyback program. Guess how many guns they collected? Zero. None. None at all. So y'all wasted $67 million of the taxpayers' money going after guns, but you got no guns. You haven't even gotten the program off the ground. So where's the money going? Where's the money being spent? I guarantee you that once again, it's a money grab for the Democratic Party. It's always a money grab. It's always a money grab. I don't care what nobody says. It's a money grab. And my thing is this, as a taxpayer citizen, you guys should be pissed off. You should be pissed off. That's one reason why I would never vote for Kamala Harris or anybody that has that mentality. The other thing is this, is that they asked her questions on how she's going to fix inflation. And she rambled on and rambled on and rambled on about everything but how she's going to fix inflation. Prices are out of control. Here's the thing about that. That's not a whole lot she's going to be able to do because she don't know what to do. She don't even know how to do it. Now, the housing market, I'm going to be honest with you, they're actually low in interest rates. So if the housing prices hasn't come down when interest rates were high, guess what's going to happen with the housing market now, the interest rates? You're right, she never does. Now, guess what's going to happen with the housing market after interest rates come down? That means the housing market is not going to change much in the prices. They're still going to get that money. They're still going to have these high-priced houses because the key to raising interest rate is the housing market is supposed to kind of crash where nobody's buying houses, which they are. So it's going to be hard to sell one. So if it's hard to sell a house, how in the world are you going to be able to get, and now that the interest rates come down, houses are going to move faster. That means that the prices aren't going to move down very much. So they really, in this 4 years, because everything else is so bad, the feds couldn't even control the price of the housing market. Because if they keep going in the direction that they're going, everything else is just going to destroy the country. So I see why they kind of pivoted and they're trying to say, okay, we're trying to find a soft landing, but it ain't landing so soft when it comes to the housing market because the housing market is still overpriced. And until people stop buying them and they're sitting there and sitting where there's so many houses and none of them getting sold, that's the only way you're going to get housing prices to come down is because they're sitting on the market so long nobody wants them and nobody can afford them. But that hasn't happened yet. So the housing market is still in a bad condition. It's still not coming down because they're idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to fix the issue because they're not trying to fix the issue. Because they're puppets that are controlled by big business, that are controlled by that they can't do it. They can't fix it. They're not going to be able to fix it. They're not going to even try to fix it. And that's the reality of it is. But, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it because they're there right now. The only thing we can do is to vote them out. Vote Trump 2024 and to vote them out. And here's the other thing. How stupid they are. Now, I always tell people that the stock market has been one of my biggest educators. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times you see stuff going on in the stock market and you wonder why it's going the way it's going. And then you find out later, oh, that's what they're doing. And my point to y'all is this, is that Intel. I know y'all know Intel makes computers or whatever case would be. And back in August, the beginning of August, end of July. End of July, Intel stock was over $30 a share. Somewhere around the beginning of August, it dropped down to about $18 a share. And you wonder why. Market cap was well over $100 billion. All of a sudden, their market cap is down to about $80 billion. Okay. The market cap is down to $80 billion. And you wonder why Intel stock will drop that low. Now I'll go in and I read reports to CEO, they got plans, all this other stuff. But then later, almost a month later, the Biden administration issues Intel, rewards them with over $8 billion. Then it started to make sense. So why are you giving a company, if you're about small businesses, why would you give a company that have over $80 billion? What's up, Mike? Welcome in. Why would you give a company that has $80 billion in market cap? You write Trump 2024. Why would you give a company $80 billion, right? 80 billion, they already have an $80 billion market cap. $80 billion after their stock has dropped over some so-called news. And then the Biden administration comes in and hands them $8 billion. Yes, sir. Hit the like button. What's up, War Dog? Welcome in. Welcome in. So why, right? And War Dog said insider trading. Right. That's exactly what it is. So your stock price goes from $30 down to about $18, $19, so between $18 and $19, right? All right. So then almost a month later, the news comes out that the Biden administration, along with Amazon, some other backyard deals that they're doing, comes out, and then their stock price jumped from $18 to like $22, right? Now, you might say that's not a whole lot, but that's a whole lot of money if you got $1 million invested into that company. That can turn around to be $100,000, $300,000 payout just by that moment. Now, I'm saying this as someone who has stock in Intel. So I'm telling y'all that something's fishy. This is not right. You all of a sudden they reward them with how you reward it? How is that helping small businesses? How does that? Where y'all run on this campaign, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Oh, we're there for small business. She said out of her mouth, oh, we're for small businesses. But yet you allow the Biden administration to turn around and give $8 billion to a company that has an $80 billion market cap after it originally had like $120 billion market cap. So they still got $80 billion market cap and y'all hands them $8 billion. Make that make sense. And this is the stuff that I keep saying to people like, okay, when people start talking about elections and start talking about politics and start talking about voting and stuff like that, they don't dig this deep into the situation. So why in the world would y'all keep voting for somebody who's lying? They're saying one thing out of their mouth, but they're doing something totally different behind the scenes. Because $8 billion, you could have took that $8 billion and you could have found a whole bunch of small businesses that are still about to go out of business and said, you know what? We want to help you recover. So we're going to issue this for small businesses. And I'm not saying any of them, but you can look at it and say, okay, we're going to send somebody and look at your paperwork, look at things that are going on, and we're going to issue this to help your business to survive. Intel ain't got no real financial problems. And if they did, if you can't fix it with $80 billion, you can't fix it with $8 billion more. That's the truth of the matter. That's where it doesn't make sense to me that why would you want to continue to vote for a party that keeps doing this over and over and over and over and over? They say one thing out of their mouth, but they do something totally different and contrary. They don't care about the American citizens. They don't. They don't care. You know what $88 billion could have done to a community that right now is hurting? You could have used that money in so many better ways than to hand it to a company that already has an $80 billion market cap. But see, that's to y'all pockets. Because all y'all probably, and this is just my opinion, it might not be factual, but I guarantee you that if you dig deep, you're going to find out all of them, as soon as that stock price dropped, they all went and bought up the shares. Just to position themselves so that when that news came out, they're going to go up, the price is going to go up, and then they're going to sell off, and they're going to make $100,000 off of it easily. Because that's what they continuously do over and over and over. But the American citizens, because we don't see when we don't know what's going on, when they vote in cahoots with each other. They all know how they're going to vote. They all know what they're going to do and where that money going to go. And meanwhile, they don't care about the fact that your life, you can barely afford groceries. They don't care about the fact that you can barely afford the house that you're living in. You can barely afford the electric. You can barely afford the gas. You can barely afford the car insurance. You can barely afford to everything that you don't dealing with every single day. You can barely afford it. But never once did this administration that is currently in office right now took ownership or accountability to every decision that they made, but they keep talking about holding someone else accountable. That she said out of her mouth, well, we're going to go to these small these companies and stuff. Not all of them are bad, but some of them are bad, and we're going to check them for price gouging. But you're not going to check the politicians, and you're not going to check them and hold them accountable for inside trading. That's why Trump said they're not going to do it. Why? Because these are their donors. These are the people that donate to their campaign. These are the people that support their campaign. That's why they don't care rather what the United States citizens vote, because they're not looking for your vote. They don't need your vote. You're right. They are. They do not need your vote. What they don't care about your vote, because what they're going to do is they're going to lie, cheat, and steal elections to stay in control. That's why the news media keep painting this picture as if this race is close voting wise. It's not. It's not close. But in order to steal the election, you got to paint the picture over the media that is close, so to justify the fake votes, the lying votes, and all of the stealing that y'all doing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to create an atmosphere to make it look like it's close. But when I'm out in the street and I talk to people and I'm watching other YouTube channels, and listen, I went on, and be real, when Oprah did that interview with her, I went on Instagram and I went into the comments because I wanted to see where the support was for her. And I guarantee you, and I wasn't the only one did it, but when I look at the comments in Oprah Winfrey's thing, I tell you without a shadow of a doubt, 80%, maybe even more, was all in support of Trump. Out of 1,400 comments, I had to dig through a lot to find Kamala's. And then what I also found was the ones that was in Kamala, they were repeated conversators. And then I would go to the page and see how long they was like actually had their YouTube page or whatever, and it wasn't that old. So I can tell that they really wasn't like people that long-term been on YouTube. They creating these counts to make it look like she has support that she really doesn't have. And I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of them was. I did the same thing when I seen Taraji P. Henson post up. When I looked in the comments, majority of them, 80 to 90% of them, maybe even more, was all for Trump. Queen Latifah, I did the same thing. Went into the comments. All I seen was support for Trump. So how is it that everywhere I look, all I see is majority support for Trump? Listen, these are Democrats. These people that are Democrat supporters. Oprah Winfrey, again, same one, Democrat. But on your page, all of us see is Trump supporters. These people got millions and millions and millions of followers, but all of them in the comments is Trump supporters. Where are the people that are supporting Kamala Harris? And in every interview that you see with her, you never get answers. But why would you vote for somebody? And then I've had people, oh, well, she sounds presidential. Oh my goodness, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She sounds presidential. What the heck did... It's like me getting ready to get into, it's like two people arguing and they get ready to get into a fight. And my fear for this person is going to be because they sound like they can fight. But then when you get into a fight with them and you whoop they behind, you be like, well, they sound like they could fight, but they really couldn't. That's why that is the stupidest thing. They sound presidential. That don't make you qualified. That do not make you qualified to run something. If you interview somebody and they sound like they good, they sound like they know what they talking about, and then you hire them, now you wish you never hired them. You like, oh my goodness, I fell for this one. Now here's the difference. If you hired them, you never knew what they was. You go by their track record of what you see on their resume or whatever, and you go by that. And you say, okay, it looks like on paper that they qualify, and it looks like that they, they sound like they are what they say they are on paper. And then you hire and you realize that, oh my goodness, I wish I wouldn't have never hired them. Why? Because they nothing like what their paper said. I got bamboozled, I got tricked. But there's a difference with this election. Kamala Harris is there already. Joe Biden is there already. They're already elected officials. So you don't have to go look at anything beyond what you see in the last 4 years. And you can't tell me one thing that this administration has done that has been beneficial to the majority of American citizens. Because I don't know nobody that can look at what's going on unless you just you love to be deceived. Like you embrace the fact that you're being deceived and you love it. Like, I want to be deceived. I don't want to know the truth. I want to be lied to. I want to be told lies so that I don't have to see the truth. I want to be lied to. Because that's the only way you could possibly want to support what you see right now. Food prices are high because of this administration and the choices that they made. And the choices that they made was to give away all of our resources, to drive up the cost of energy, so that you will be forced to go buy that electric car that they was so forcible to try to make you buy. But then when it didn't work out, they're trying to reverse course. And that's why they're going back to the stuff that Trump was actually doing when he was in office. That's why now they all of a sudden now want to go get the oil and they want to go get drilled and they want to increase drilling and they want to do all this stuff. Well, who told y'all to why would you go into office? You see everything that's working. Why would you go undo it? Because it was a personal agenda. It wasn't, they didn't care about whether it was going to benefit American citizens or not. It was a personal agenda and it was a personal attack on America. You see that Trump choices on the border was working. Why would you undo it? Unless you hate America that much that you want to destroy it. Because it don't make sense to me. If I walk up and say, well, and the border look like it's secure to me, it ain't a whole lot going on. The job is, why would I undo that? That don't even make sense. And here's the crazy part. They said the whole time Trump was talking about this stuff, they kept trying to paint him as it being racist. How is it that putting a lock on your door is racist? That don't even make sense. Oh, he's being racist. Why? Because he want to put a lock on the border? That ain't racist. That's protection. You're not even making sense. And the people that every time I hear somebody say, I said, well, go home, take the locks off your door, and take the locks off your windows. Don't lock nothing up. Just leave it for everybody to have. Because you really don't feel that way. You just saying it because you're not dealing with the circumstances of that. But when it hits your door, and believe me when I tell you, it has hit a lot of American citizens' door. You have a different attitude. My thing is this: I don't want to wait till it hit my door. I want you to stop it at the border. I don't want it to hit my neighborhood. I don't want it to hit my community. I want it to end right there at the border. Reverse, send them back. Don't even let them in. Now, I'm not saying I don't want nobody here, but I want to make sure that the administration that we have, the people that are on the border, are scrutinizing as well as possible who comes over here, and they're not letting them come over here in massive amounts. Why? Because if we're going to take anybody over here, we need to take the best of the best. The people that are really going to contribute to this country greatness. And I'm not saying you can't help people that are in a dire situation, but come on, man. That's not our problem all the time. Right now, America's in a dire situation. So you need to worry about America first before you worry about anybody else. When we good, then you can think that way. Then you can say, okay, America's solid. Everybody's living well. The tax structure. Listen, then you can think that way. But outside of that, you should not be thinking that way. You should not even look that way. This administration has put more time and effort into securing Ukraine's borders and protecting Ukraine than anything when it came to America. But yet you're using American citizens and American tax dollars to do it. You want them to write a bill to fix our border, but yet you sending money over there to fix theirs. When you are the commander-in-chief, you don't need a bill to secure the border. You're the commander-in-chief. If I'm the commander-in-chief and there's a fluctuation of people coming to border, my military get a phone call, yo, I need y'all to stop that. Whatever's going down there, I don't want no. Stop it. Put a stop to it. That's it. That's a phone call. Struggle the pen. You are the commander in chief. You don't let nobody come in your country just walking in. That don't even make sense to me. If I'm the commander in chief, you're not going to know. That's my country. No. My job is to protect my people. And at the end of the day, if you start running over here to me, I don't care why you. I do not care what your intentions are. You don't just walk over into my country. Send the military, shut it down. Don't let nobody over here. And then anybody you do let over, if they don't come the right way, they don't come. Simple as that. And I will authorize my military to do what's necessary to make sure that happens, that we're secure. That's it. And I know that people might take that, whatever way they want to take it, but that's the way you're supposed to. That's how you control you. That's how you protect your people. That's how you tell people that you love them and you care about them. If you care as a president of the United States and about your citizens of America, you would not put them in harm's way the way this administration is doing. We should not have to worry about something like that. That's what we pay you to do. But you failed at your job. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all of them failed at their job. But they're not doing it. They don't care about the American citizens. They're ripping us off on every chance that they get, and they're doing all the slick stuff they could possibly do to hurt the American citizens. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks. They hurt the American citizens. They do not care about your well-being. No one in their right mind should be voting for the Democratic Party at this point, because that party, they keep voting on party lines. They all vote on party lines. Oh, well, and everything that Trump says, they try to make it into some type of racist thing. Trump is not a racist, and I keep telling people that, and I will defend that one all across the board. Everybody that says, I tell them, well, show me the racist stuff that he's doing. Show me the racist stuff that he be saying. No, I don't want to hear what you heard from someone else. I want you to go show it to me. Because that man has a stream history amongst not just the black community, all communities. So you're not even making sense at this point. But, that was debunked. They say he never, denounced the KKK, but I done seen countless videos of him denouncing the KKK. They said he was responsible for January 6th, but I have seen countless videos that say that he wasn't. So everything y'all keep saying is y'all lies, but none of the media is checking y'all on y'all lies. It's not until it gets so bad that they can't protect it no more that you start to see them slightly reversing course. But they can't go too far because the people that own them don't like Trump. The people that own them don't like Trump. So like I said, certain people like Steve Harvey, Roland Martin, Oprah Winfrey, and all of these people that are famous people, they can't say the truth because they're not allowed to. Their voice is not their voice. Their voice is their boss's voice. You either say what we say, you tell you to say, or it's going to be a problem. And I have never seen so much bullying in my life until I started seeing this administration and what they're actually doing behind the scenes. Now, the only people they can't bully is the people that they don't control. And people wonder why, and this is just my opinion. You're right, puppets. You're right, word dog, puppets. Now, here's the thing. This is just my opinion. But I believe that Kanye West, honestly speaking, did everything he did to get away from that. He didn't care what it cost him because he seen how bad it was. And he didn't care what it cost him. And I think he did all of that stuff and just went through it just to get himself free from it. Now, I'm not 100% sure of that, but everything that he did comes to that to me. Says that to me. It's like, oh, he really wanted out of this. He wanted his life back. He wanted his freedom back. He didn't want to be a puppet. He didn't want to be controlled. And there's a lot of artists that tried to get out of that situation and they were met with hostility and in some cases, death. And that's the truth of the matter. So I can't understand why anybody will want to continue to vote that way because these people are power hungry. When I say power, they are very, very power hungry. They're not concerned about the American citizens and their well-being. All they're concerned about is their power and having control over the people. That's why they will fearmonger you into voting for them again and continue to vote for them again. That's why they want to offer people what they so-called housing, public housing. Why? To control you. So that they control your livelihood. So if in order for you to have the livelihood that you have, we're providing you with housing. So you have to vote for us because you are a slave to us. We control you. If you don't vote for us, we're going to take, if you vote for them, they're going to take away your welfare. So you have to keep us in office so that, okay, that's what's up, Mike, in the building in Trump 2024. So in order for you to get public assistance continuously, you have to vote for us because we own you because you are a slave to us. We don't want you to think beyond that. We don't want you to push yourself beyond that. No, we want you to stay there so we can control your vote. Your vote is what keeps us in power, but we don't want you to be smart enough, intelligent enough, and capable enough to do it on your own. Let us do it for you, but we're going to give you the bare minimum. So you don't be a competitor, so you don't have a livelihood, and you don't have, and then the flip side of it is, look at how they keep raising all these taxes. Why? To flush the middle class down there too. So everything that this administration has done has been extremely detrimental to the financial stability of all middle class, some and some poor people, but it has very zero effect on the wealthy. Why? Because the wealthy can stomach it. They cool with it because it ain't going to affect them. It goes deeper than that because the wealthy owns everything. They can't lose money because they got too much to lose. They ain't going to lose that money. Y'all think they're going to lose that money, but they're not going to lose that money. Nothing financially is going to be detrimental to them because they own everything. They own all of the companies. They own everything because they are the major shareholders of all these companies. And all these companies are going to pay them out a dividend. So their income is not going to be affected by it. If that company makes more profit, they're going to be fine. It's you, the everyday citizen that gets up and go to work every single day. It's going to always be detrimental to you. The politicians that you see right now, the Biden administration, the Democratic Party, has been robbing and stealing and taking from American citizens for as long as for years, and it's probably been longer than I remember. But I'm just talking about what I have currently seen in I'm gonna say my last good 15 years. And Trump, by far, was the only politician who's really not a politician, has got into office and actually started reversing course and gave the American citizens back the thing that they had, was to be financially liberated, to be able to enjoy your life when you work hard for the money that you get. And I don't care what nobody say. That years that Trump was in office was so good, people didn't realize how good it was until it went away. It was good. It was very good. Now, I know somebody, oh, no, it wasn't that good. It wasn't. No, yeah, it was. You can say what you want to say. Bread wasn't as high. Eggs wasn't as high. Gas wasn't that high. Houses wasn't that high. Your pay scale was, even if you didn't make a lot of money, the money that you was bringing home got better because Trump cut the payroll tax. So you had low payroll tax, which gives you more money. You had lower gas prices, which gives you more money. We had lower food, which gives you more money. And you had the lower cost of housing, which gives you more money. See, it was so good, you didn't realize how good it was. Because, and then y'all act like y'all don't equate this to the Biden administration, but it didn't happen until they got in office. Because they reversed course. They didn't care about how good the policy was. They hate Trump. So because they hate Trump, they wanted to cut his name out of it and say, we don't want him to take credit for nothing, so we're going to get rid of everything that he did. They did not care, not 1%, what it would do to American citizens, because it wasn't about American citizens. It was about destroying Trump, because they think Trump is something that he's not, which is a tyrant. They want to paint him a picture as a tyrant. He's not a tyrant. Ain't no tyrant in their right mind is going to lower taxes for people to be able to better their life. That's a leader. That's a good leader. Ain't no tyrant is going to give people, liberate people to be able to purchase and buy whatever guns they want to have. That's not a tyrant. Because that people that purchase and have all the good weapons, they can turn around and use them weapons on you. So that's not a tyrant. That's a leader. That's a good leader. A tyrant is going to try to control it. Why? So they can control you. They're going to raise taxes so they can control you by putting you and putting you in such a financial destruction so they can turn around and say, oh, we'll give you a little bit to help you. But they're not really helping you. They just want to offer you a little bit. That's a tyrant. Y'all don't even see the tyrant, but that's what tyrants do. They like control. That's what communism is. They don't want you to be able to be smart enough and do it on your own and be able to retain all that you work for. No. If you get that much, we want to give it to someone else that didn't work for it. It ain't that they want to give it to someone else just because they want to give it to somebody because they didn't work for it. What they want to do is they want to control you so you don't get too far, and they want to control them so they can continue to make them vote the way they want them to vote. That's what that is. Believe me when I tell you, if you dig deep, there's no way you would ever vote for anybody on the Democratic Party. And this is not about Democrat and Republican. This is about what the Democratic Party is currently doing. Because I know that there's some Republicans that you probably can't trust now, but they're not as bad as what I see in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party across the board, if you look at the city of Philadelphia, they have literally been robbing the people. If you look at all of these big cities that are run by Democrat, they are stealing and robbing from the people. And they're trying to do it, paint the picture of they're being nice and humanity, but in reality, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're stealing your goods and your services. And they're stealing all the good stuff and offering you services. That's what they're offering you, services. They don't want to manufacture. They don't want good jobs. They don't want that. They want to offer you services. Because services enlarges government to be able to offer you services. That means that people got jobs to offer you services. But they're not offering you big, great jobs. They're not bringing manufacturing here. They're not bringing producing stuff here. They're not supporting the American country, the American businesses the way they should be supported. And I'm not talking about the big boys that funds their campaign. I'm talking about the average business person, the farmers, and all of those type of people. Those type of people, farmers, manufacturing, car dealerships, car manufacturing, people that make clothes, people that make the products that we're using every day. They're not supporting those people because they don't want to. They want to destroy it because they want to continue to allow big people on Wall Street to continue to have control over the everyday American citizen's life. That's what they want. Because that way they can continuously control your vote. But I guarantee you this, if we vote for Trump, we all continue to vote, and we all vote for Trump, and he gets back in office. Watch how quickly you see the shift and I'm not going to tell you that it's going to happen overnight because we know that it's too much damage right now. So it's going to take time to fix it. But if he just go back to doing what he was already doing and then adding in, because I'm looking at the people that are starting to link up with him. And then I go back and I say, oh, wow, he got this person. He got that person. And if he has built what I would consider to be a dream team. Now, I'm not a big basketball person, but I know that in the Olympics, the dream team was destroying back then. Now, if you're talking about Trump, you're talking about Elon Musk, you're talking about RFK, and you talk about a lot of people that is in his corner, he is building the dream team. And that dream team that he's building is looking like he's covering all his bases of who he need on his team to be able to fix the issues, because there's only but so much he's going to be able to focus on as president. So he recognized that Elon Musk is efficient in getting things done with very little to work with. So he knows how to micromanage stuff, and government needs to be micromanaged because there's no reason why we should be sitting in trillions and trillions of dollars of debt as a country. That means that there is a whole lot of fat there and wasteful spending that the government is doing, like giving Intel $8 billion for what? I don't know. Well, I know what they said it's for, but I know it's bullcrap in the end of the day. But it's stuff like that that causes us to have the problem of inflation, because government is getting too fat and too healthy. You want to bring down inflation, bring down government. Because American citizens are not making these choices. It's government that's doing it. And that's why you have inflation. She never once said out of her mouth that this is what she really should have been saying. The way that I'm going to bring down inflation is I'm going to minimize government. That's how you really fix inflation. I'm going to cut the fat out of government. I'm going to cut the unnecessary stuff that government is doing and trying to provide for a bunch of lazy people that don't deserve it. That's reality of it is. And that's an uncomfortable conversation, but in reality, that's what will. That will help bring down inflation a whole lot. But they're not going to do that. Why? Because that affects them. That affects the whole position of what they're trying to do on their end. Bringing down inflation starts with government. Wasteful spending, all the stuff that they're doing. And like I said, say what you want to say. They're tyrants. They're acting like they're wolves in sheep clothing. You know what I mean? The Bible says that Satan comes like a thief in the night. And this is what they are. They are ran and controlled by Satan. Y'all don't realize that that's what they're doing. They're painting the picture like there's something that they're not. And that's why they're so adamant about taking down Trump. Because if they can take Trump down, because at the end of the day, Trump to everybody else, they're trying to say, oh, he looks like a savior. It's not that he looks like a savior. It's just that we know what he's trying to do because he already did it. He's already done it the 4 years that he was in office. But they tricked a lot of people into voting the other way. And then they added in all of the fake votes, which is ridiculous, the amount of fake votes. But it is what it is. We, in spilt milk, it is what it is. We passed that right now. That's why with us, we have to make it too big to rig. And we have to vote Republican to make the job easier for Trump. And then, he got people like RFK who's talking about the food. Let me be honest with you. Me personally, I had these thoughts in my head about, I think they're doing something with the food, but I didn't make it. That was one subject that did not resonate large with me, but I've had these thoughts. But when I listened to RFK talk, and I was like, wow, you actually opened my eyes to something, because I really wasn't thinking about it on that scale. And my thing is this, that's why I'm glad that he endorsed Trump. I'm glad that Trump is bringing him in, because if he's that passionate about it, and clearly he is, that will, again, to me, that's great for American citizens, because there is a health problem in America. And if there is something going on with the food and they're doing something they shouldn't be doing with the food, we need to know about it, and we need to fix it, and we need to fix it fast, so that, the people that are here have healthier food. And I'm not saying you change eating habits, but the one thing we should make sure that the food that they're providing is actually food, real food, and not whatever it is that they're throwing in the food. Because I think there's a whole lot they're doing in there we don't know. But at this point, it is what it is. But I'd rather have somebody here that's passionate about it, who's going to take on the job and make sure that American citizens get the best food that they can possibly get health-wise. And I'm not saying control people and saying, oh, you can't eat this and you can't eat that. That's not what I'm saying. And if that's what his intentions are, then I'm not with that. What I'm saying is making sure that they're not putting stuff in the food that should not be in the food that they already know is extremely unhealthy, that is unhealthy for American citizens. I mean, the Food and Drug Administration is supposed to be doing that, but we know that they paid to play too. But it is what it is. But, and then again, for my gun community, you need, if you know people that are part of the gun community, and when I say the gun community, meaning that we are all everyday honest citizens. We're not out there to hurt nobody. That's the gun community. Now, I'm not talking about the criminals with guns. I'm not talking about them. They are not a part of the community that I'm currently talking about. Criminals with guns are not part of the gun community. The community that I'm talking about is the honest, everyday people that get up and own firearms, that have no intentions of going out there hurting nobody, nothing like that. Yes, they will defend themselves if necessary, but that's not what they wake up thinking about. That enjoy their firearms, they go out and hunt and go to the range and do everything to enjoy firearms, because that is a part of our life and we enjoy it. and we should not be controlled because you can't control your board, these criminals out here because they doing stuff. They're going to get the guns. There's nothing you can do to stop that. They're going to get them. But if you put them in jail, and my thing is this, and stop making it look like, I don't understand why a business owner can have somebody come into their store, try to rob them at gunpoint, possibly kill them, and then the business owner defends themselves. Now you in court. You, the business owner, in court. Someone comes in there and tried to rob your store. Why is it that, and let's say you had to take them out and you had to kill them, whatever. Why isn't that the business owner who's trying to protect everything that he worked for is treated like he's the criminal? That don't even make sense. Criminal come in my store, you put them down because they shouldn't have never did what they did. That should be the end of the story right there. That's it. You should be able to go right back to business. I'm sorry. When people come out and they go to victimize people, I don't feel sorry for them. I'm sorry. You trying to take somebody else's livelihood away or take something they harm? I'm sorry. I'm not the one. I don't feel sorry for you. Because in America, there is other ways to make a living that you don't have to do that. You don't. My thing is this, if you need some money and that person owns a business, how about go clean their windows for a few dollars? How about sweep the front of their building for a few dollars? I don't know. You do it every single day, and somebody else around there might see you doing it and say, you know what? I like the way you clean those windows. Can you clean ours too? And then someone else might say, I like the way. He might say, man, I got this guy to come clean windows. Oh, you don't think that that's pride in cleaning windows. That's what that is. But you think it's pride in going out murdering and robbing. Make that make sense. That means your head is messed up. It's so many services that you can provide for people that they'll be willing to pay for because they don't have the time to do it. There's no excuse for that. Because you think you're not too good to go rob somebody, but you're too good to go do the other stuff. You can go ask people to put out their trash every week. Give me $2. I'll put your trash $5. I don't know. I'm just saying there's other ways. If you got a city block that has 60 houses on there, and you trying to get business, I just want to put out your trash. I don't want to do nothing but put out trash with your front. You do that through the course of the day, you can make a couple of $100. So it's too many opportunities for people to make money. There's no excuse for that. You just want to try to find some quick, easy way. And what happens when, okay, let's say you do rob somebody and you get away with it. That road going to end for you, and it's going to end bad. It's going to end bad because somebody's going to get you. And then what? It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Because at that point, you'll never be able to rest. It's not worth it. My thing is this, is that if you try to live the best life you can, not trying to hurt nobody, not trying to rob from somebody, take somebody, and all that other stuff, and do the best you can, and I guarantee you this, you're right, Christopher, people don't want to work. And I guarantee you this, your life will get better if you're consistent and you're diligent. If you're diligent and you're consistent and you stay on that course, your life will get better. You be so glad you did that, you ain't gonna know what you're like, man, I wish I would have did this a long time ago. Because I don't care, discipline is always paid off for anyone that ever used it. Consistency, discipline, and staying the course, as long as you see as long as it's something of honest and people are willing to pay for, it has never failed. The only failure was you quit. You gave up. That's the failure. But it don't fail when you don't quit. It don't fail when you keep going. That's it. So it's not worth all of that. But like I said, for our gun community, we should never be voting for politicians that start talking that way. We should never vote for politicians that say, oh, we want a gun control, gun buyback. I don't care how way they spend it. The minute they start anti-gun, and it, to me, it's anti-them. Simple as that. And I'm saying that to my gun community. If it's anti-gun, then it's anti-them. I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're independent. The minute they start talking anti-gun, then it should be we don't vote for you. We done with y'all. No, we ain't vote for that. Because that, to me, I look at the people like that as tyrants. Because how is that beneficial to you, to anyone by trying to control what firearms I'm able to have and don't have. I ain't hurting nobody, so why should I be punished for something that I'm not doing? I'm not out here trying to rob and steal from nobody. You're not making sense. That's why, and my thing is, my rights are given to me by God, not man. And the minute you start intruding on that, that's a problem. I'm not asking you for. I'm not. I mean, I respect it, but at the end of the day, we should not have to ask government for our permission. That's everything that we have given is given to us by God. They're not God. They're men too, and women. They're not God. So they should not be trying to control someone's right to keep and bear arms. Because the minute you take away the right to keep and bear arms, everything else follows. Now they have control over everything in your life. And they already got too much control. And that's the truth of the matter. And at the end of the day, let's all continue to support our candidate, Trump 2024. And like I always say, if you don't have Christ in your life, it doesn't matter what I say out of my mouth. It doesn't matter all that stuff. Christ, put him first. Get him in your heart. Find out who he is. Because he's real today as he was the day he walked this earth. And you need him. Believe me when I tell you, you need him. I need him. We all need him. And if we can get Christ to be the head of America, we'd be surprised where America would be. And that's what God said. His people need to humble themselves and pray. And he will heal the land. And I ask that we not only pray for each other, we pray for our country, we pray for Trump, and we pray for even the ones that we might not personally care for, but they still need prayer too. And that's the truth of the matter. Pray that they get the mindset of God, that they become God conscious. Because at the end of the day, even if we don't care for their choices, man, they still God's creation. And we got to pray for them too. And with that said, I'm going to close. And everyone here, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with a brother. Hit that like, subscribe button. And, share the videos with all these need. Help my channel to grow. Because we can all grow it together. It ain't just about me. It's about us. We the people. Peace. Have a blessed one.